everybody was loving Eminem. He'd have his critics. Don't get me twisted. There were some critics. But overall, people felt like Eminem's a monster. When he was selling all those albums, he's a monster. Nobody really dissed him of real hip-hop pedigree. And he himself only dissed, pop groups or, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Moby. He didn't really diss anyone. The only rapper that he really dissed of any sort of name was Ja Rule. And that was an inherited beef because of 50. But that is one of the criticisms of Eminem, because he's never really went at somebody with any real hip hop clout. Do you know what I mean? So besides maybe Ja Rule, and then his recent beef with Machine Gun Kelly, because in recent years, as much as I said that people have never really dissed Eminem, you have had people like Joe Budden come out and criticize him, whether that's a business deal that went wrong and then Budden started dissing Eminem, but he still was dissing him on his podcast, and he never really dissed him on any music though. And again, you could flip that to Eminem, like, oh, this somebody's dissing you, but you never really dissed them on wax, on music. He had a little line for Joe Budden on the song he dissed MGK, but it was just a quick line. It wasn't like he did a whole song. And everyone knows Joe Budden's got bars, so it would have been an actual interesting beef. And then, so yeah, MGK obviously dissed Eminem. People say that he won the beef, MGK. I'd say overall he won it because of how good his first diss to Eminem was. But Eminem's actual response, bar for bar, line for line, killed MGK. But overall, I think most people would say Eminem lost that battle, just in terms of public perception. Then he had his things with Benzino back in the day, when Benzino was exposed him for having racist rap songs against black women. And then recently a hip-hop pioneer, Melly Mel, had some criticism for him. Well, he kind of criticizes everybody in hip-hop, to be fair. He was saying basically how Eminem's only in the top list of rappers because he's white. And obviously that has a part in it. Let's keep it real, okay? Because he was basically saying how even someone like Royce the 5'9", who's one of Eminem's best friends, is just as nice as Eminem, but he's nowhere near the top of the greatest hip-hop rappers list because he's black and he's up probably in like number 60. Whereas Eminem's white, so he sold a lot of records, so he's in the top 5 or top 10. And the other person that criticized M was surprisingly Snoop a few years ago when he was on the Breakfast Club, saying how people would say Eminem's their top 5 of all time, but he'd be nowhere near Snoop's top 5 because everyone was shocked with that, because Snoop and M are from the same umbrella of Dr. Dre, and the way Snoop was saying it was like, nah, he ain't nowhere near my top 5. Eminem even went and addressed him on a song as well. Didn't really diss him, but he kind of tapped Snoop. But that was squashed because he did a song. What was that called? It was called From like Long Beach to Detroit or to 8 Mile. That's a really good song. I suggest you gotta check that out. But yeah, that's the criticisms of Eminem, and see how people are coming out and slightly dissing him a little bit now. So, you just think, as Eminem lost a bit of that sort of invincibility, which is natural, he's been around for 20 years. But I think for me personally, I miss the old Eminem.